and welcome to the Just Interesting podcast, the show where nothing is very interesting, everything is more than boring, it's just interesting.
That was good as well.
Thank you.
like it.
We're still learning, we're getting there.
Yeah,
Eventually
I
we'll
think we
get
should
there.
all just make one,
and
then you can vote on which one you like best. I think it was
listeners
slightly different to
get
Alex's last
decide.
week.
It was slightly different. I liked yours next week.
Oh,
With me, Robin is Alex. As we just
Hello
mentioned.
there, Robin.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, pretty energized, ready for this new podcast.
I can hear it in your voice. I
Yeah.
can hear it.
I'm not falling asleep. It's fine.
And Martin.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, having enough sleep?
But not really.
No.
But then that's just kind of par for the course with a young child. But that's fine. I'm not going to use it as an excuse. I've got my Red Bull. I'm pleased to see you guys. And so let's get rocking.
The coconut edition.
I know.
Red Bull coconut.
Chris J from the Super Show.
Yeah. Great podcast.
Put a link
yeah.
down in the
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
link down in the comment section, maybe if they're lucky. Recommended this. He goes, I picked up a Red Bull, and he went, "That's good, but this one's my favourite." So I don't know. I'll give it a go. I'm tired. Gave it a go. Not bad. Coconut and berry. It's all right.
Does that work as a combination? Really?
Actually, it does.
Really
yeah,
does.
it's not bad. You
Okay.
try some if you like, but I know you don't
No,
particularly.
that's fine.
I don't want to die.
Did I miss them? Are we sponsored by Red Bull now?
If only.
What happened?
If only we're sponsored by Red Bull.
Oh.
Martin is literally sprouting wings as we speak.
Flying away, boy. Flying
Well,
away.
Ignoring Red Bull for a moment, this week I learned, a lot of people have been talking about 1917, the movie.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen
I thought
it
we just
yet?
meant
Yeah.
the Russian Revolution.
No, that's more interesting in a
Yeah.
way, but don't get too interesting. 1917 by Sam Mendes and the cinematographer Roger Deakins.
Yeah.
Set during the First World War, as the title suggests.
Mhm.
Yes.
Meant to be done in one take.
But it's
it
not.
wasn't actually.
Yeah, it's actually several takes stitched together.
Mm.
Well, apparently, the very first film that is considered to have been done in a true one shot was a Hungarian film from 1982,
Oh,
Okay, quite late.
an adaptation of Macbeth. Yeah,
oh wow.
Interesting.
yeah,
They did Macbeth just in one shot.
yeah.
That's
I
pretty cool.
wonder.
That's quite cool.
Do
Did
you know
they
how long
just
the
film a
film is?
theatre?
Yeah,
They didn't. I was thinking about that. No, but it's funny.
Feature film, right?
This
Has
is
to
the
be a
one.
feature.
Apparently, yeah, it's a feature film,
Yeah.
and apparently this is what's considered the first one-take
Mhm.
movie, true one-take movie. Although it's actually two takes. It's got a title.
What?
It's got a
Were they?
title.
What?
It's got a title sequence that interrupts like the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Separates
So
it
it's
from the
not.
rest.
So that's not seen as like the movie, right? It's
Yeah,
just the
so it's
intro.
like
kind of.
a 5-minute introduction.
we'll let them
a
off.
title sequence, and then a 57-minute take, which is the rest of the movie.
Short film, but still,
Yeah.
well, for 1980. Well, actually, yeah, there were some
Yeah.
fairly long films in 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah, some very long films. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the film Rope by Alfred Hitchcock.
I haven't, but he didn't like it very much, did he? Hitchcock. He didn't like Rope too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was one of the
One of the ones he wasn't too
It
fond
wasn't
of.
too
Yeah, it
fond.
wasn't.
I think it's one of them. I
it's
think
not
so.
hugely well received, but I really like it. And then that was from 1948, and that was done in the illusion of one take. I
Yes,
think it's actually 3 takes stitched together.
not bad.
But at least back then, though, they've got the excuse in that film canister could only hold
Yeah, it runs
about
out, doesn't it?
20 minutes
Yeah.
of film. So they're like, okay, well, we've got to cut somewhere because we don't have enough film.
Yeah,
That's still
Yeah.
really cool that they attempted
very
it back
cool.
then.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
So this week I learned about the origin of the word boycott.
Oh,
Any
okay.
ideas?
There's a funny
Um,
word.
Hmm.
Was it a child who was a boy?
In a cot.
In a
Yeah.
cot.
And he decided that he didn't want to be in the cot anymore, so he boycotted
He
the
boycotted
cot.
the cot and said, "I'm never going in a cot again, Mum and Dad. Thanks." They're like, "You don't have to. You can get out of the cot. You're 22. What are you doing in the cot still, boy?" No, it's not about that. No, it actually takes us back to the late 1800s. So there was a guy, a landowner by the name of Lord Erne, this Irish landowner, and he had a British captain who looked after his land by the name of Charles Boycott.
Okay.
So he was an agent basically.
Right.
So he looked
Just
after the land.
managed all the Lord's land.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
So later on in 1880, there was a series of like pretty bad harvests,
Oh.
and Lord Erne was like, "Okay, well, these people have been struggling a little bit, so I'm going to give them 10% off their land ownership bills to me to use the land as a goodwill gesture." And the people were like, 10%, mate. We've had years and years of bad harvests.
I see.
We want 25%.
Okay.
And so Lord Erne just goes, right, this isn't going on too well. I'm going to have to get Boycott on this. So Boycott goes down to the tenants and goes, come on, look, you have to pay up. We've given you 10% off.
Yeah.
You want 25, but it's not going to happen. Okay. And they go, boycott. Wait a second. We're having a tough time here. Can you give us 25%? And he goes, I can't do it, mate. I can't do it. And so you're looking confused, Robin.
I'm just intrigued as to where the boycott part starts.
And so a guy called Charles Stewart Parnell proposed to the local people
His
that
name's
they,
not boycott.
that they should simply not speak to Boycott and not include him in the local community.
If you just waited.
I'm too impatient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
And not speak to him and basically shun him from all of like the local activity, which
Yeah.
I think might be a little bit harsh considering it's Lord Ern's land,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's also a bit childish. He's like the person.
Childish, but they have been struggling a lot.
That's
and
true.
basically
Yeah.
the whole place in County Mayo, they all said, right, let's not allow Boycott to join in the local activities.
Yeah.
Let's not deliver his post. Let's completely shun
Wow.
him. Yeah, like the whole community properly shunned him.
Wow.
And
Okay.
in the end, Ern does get a whole load of people who from kind of an outside neighbourhood outside of County Mayo to come in
Yeah.
and work the land instead. So he gets like replacements for these people.
Oh.
But the financial hardship that was put upon him was much more than it was worth, like not giving them the 25% they're after.
Right.
And so then the phrase boycotting someone
Yes.
or boycotting something came about because of this agent
That's interesting.
and them shunning him. So he
Wow.
didn't pay the
Wow.
amount.
He
that
got
they asked for.
ghosted so hard
Yeah.
that his
Yeah.
name became the
Exactly.
words
Imagine
that
that.
you use.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But what did they call it when they were doing it? Just shunning.
Shun, I
Not
take
quite
it,
the same,
yeah.
boycott.
Although I imagine
Next
that
week,
I imagine
where
the
did that
phrase
come from?
the phrase boycott probably was used shortly after that. Otherwise, it wouldn't
Must
have
have
gathered
been.
momentum,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the
So
old
that's
Irish
where-
giving us another
that's where
thing.
it came from. Although
Yeah.
it's quite funny that the angst of these people was against Boycott, who was this English captain, and not Lord Ern, who was like some Irish
Yeah.
person there. It's like
Well, I mean,
bloody English.
I bet Lord was probably an absentee landlord, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
it's
was.
probably English.
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah.
But kind of feel sorry for Boycott, but at the same time, good for them.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
understand why. Because I'm actually kind of impressed they were willing to pay the 75%, given that they hadn't had any harvests.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must be starving.
Yeah. You'd hope that you kind of negotiate something that's kind of harvest related. It's like good harvest, pay a bit more, negotiable, you know.
Mm,
But then they're land workers; they need the land regardless, so they're in a kind of vulnerable position.
yeah.
Mm.
Land ownership, the worst evil.
Well, there we go.
Well, thanks for that, Martin. That was very interesting. I learnt this week
Yeah.
about a case in Nashville, and there was a man there who named James Washington, who was basically in jail for murder for 15 years.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Second-degree murder conviction. However, he
Still bad.
suffered... Still pretty bad. He suffered a heart attack, like
Oh,
a major
okay.
heart attack and seizures, and he was basically on his deathbed. And on his deathbed, he confessed to another murder.
Oh,
He confessed his involvement in the murder of Joyce Goodiner, who was a 35-year-old Nashville woman who was found dead by firefighters inside an abandoned home 17 years ago. And
So
he confessed basically on his deathbed.
yeah.
He dragged a prison official to him and motioned to him and said, I have something to tell you. I have to get something off my conscience and someone needs to hear this. I killed somebody. I beat her to death.
Oh.
Yeah. But then
Big
he made a full
confessions.
recovery
Oh,
and was, sentenced, charged with that murder as well. So
Yeah, you got to be sure you're going to die, don't you?
you gotta be sure. Gotta be sure. That's the moral of this story.
Oh, it's a rare case of cosmic justice being served.
Well, yeah.
I
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you
Oh,
go.
dear. Wow.
Wow.
A little bit of justice for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's a positive story. Yeah.
it's
think
kind of
so,
yeah.
it was negative there for a
It's-
while.
yeah.
turned
It's a
bit
weird one,
positive
isn't it? You're
towards
like,
the
oh, it's good that he's confessed to it regardless, right?
Yeah.
The confession's been made, even if it was
Yeah.
the end of his life. That's good.
end. Yeah.
But,
And-
two
but then you're
people
like-
still died. Yeah.
But then you killed someone, so yeah, screw
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, nice. Nice. That was cheery and positive.
Yeah, in
You're
fact,
welcome.
Mm.
it qualifies for weird news almost. So I've got a weird. It's not really weird news because it's not very new at all, but it's a weird story.
Okay.
I felt it was too involved to count as something that I learned this week. But Oscar Wilde,
Yes.
we're fans.
He existed.
Everyone's a fan.
Everyone's a fan of
I think
Oscar
everyone's a fan
Wilde.
of Oscar Wilde. If the importance of being earnest.
Yes.
Yeah,
You all heard of that?
It is
that's the
important.
one I
It
know.
is
That's the one you know.
important. It is
Exactly.
important.
That's the one that everybody knows because it is his most famous work. It was his most successful play when it came out in 1895. His biggest commercial success and critical. But did you know it only ran for 86 performances in his lifetime?
Really?
What
Yeah.
a loser.
But do you want to know why?
Wasn't that successful?
Do you want to know why?
How comes?
Because
Because on the opening night of the performance, the Marquess of Queensberry,
Okay.
who was the father of Oscar Wilde's lover,
okay,
planned to interrupt the performance
Oh.
and go on stage and present Oscar Wilde with a bouquet of rotten vegetables.
what a dick.
Yeah. But Oscar Wilde got wind of this, I assume through his lover.
Yes.
He was like, oh, Dad's going to be a real dick
That's-
tonight.
Dad, Dad,
You're
don't do the
embarrassing
rotten
me in
vegetable
front of-
trick again.
You're embarrassing me in front of my lover.
So Oscar Wilde and his friends managed to keep the Marquess of Queensberry out of the theatre.
Get out, get out, get out
This,
now.
this then prompted the Marquess of Queensberry to report Oscar Wilde to the police
For being a
because
homosexual.
he was homosexual.
I see.
And the Marquess had spent several months kind of drip feeding information about Oscar Wilde to Scotland Yard, building up this case of he's a homosexual,
I
which
see.
was illegal at the time
Yeah.
in Britain.
Oh, get a life. Come on, that's so lame.
So
It is lame.
Oscar Wilde sues him for libel. This thing goes to court.
Yeah.
The Marquess of Queensberry surprises Oscar Wilde with this, hey, Scotland Yard have a file on you with information
I see.
that I've been giving them.
Mm.
Oscar Wilde is like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gay. I'll drop the libel suit. And then he gets arrested and sentenced to prison for being gay.
Oh.
So the play gets cancelled
Ah.
because the playwright was gay. So even though it was his
Wow.
biggest success, it was also the beginning of his downfall because he went to Reading
Yes,
jail,
that was the reason
got
for it.
incredibly sick, came
Yeah.
out of Reading jail after 3 years, I think, went to Paris, didn't really write anything again, and then died.
Man, sad.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Wow.
really quite sad.
Bloody
That is
Marcus.
sad.
That was
Ah.
the same Marquess of Queensberry who lent his name to the boxing rules.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was
Interesting.
I was always wondering,
Yes.
who lent their name
did
to the
that?
boxing
Those
rules?
boxing rules.
Those boxing rules.
Yeah, man.
I think he didn't even
Those
write
damn
them.
boxing
Them
rules.
Bloody boxing rules.
I don't like them anymore.
Well, no, because he didn't do them. So
Oh,
what he
you got
did
more
was-
information on this. I thought the story was
Yeah,
over.
no, this is what's so interesting about it. So Marquess of Queensberry was like a sponsor, a patron of a big athletics club that was created in order to be accessible to everybody regardless of their class, because he
Okay.
was a big like, men should do sports. Sports
Okay.
is good. Everyone should do sports. And in 1867, a man called John Graham Chambers drew up a list of 12 rules to govern boxing to make it a bit more of a organized, civilized sport. But instead of calling it the Chambers rules, because it was published by this club and the Marquess of Queensberry's name was above
Yep.
the club icon or logo or whatever, everyone was like, oh, the Queensberry,
Queensberry
rules.
rules.
So you got
yeah.
the Marquess of Queensberry, who did this great thing for athletics, promoting it amongst the working classes. That's good. But he also just, his name gets
Destroyed
linked to these
Oscar
rules,
Wilde's life. Yeah.
Mm.
destroys Oscar Wilde's life. Presumably makes his son very unhappy.
You'd expect so.
Yeah.
Probably.
And steals the credit for someone else's boxing rules. So there you
Sounds
go.
like a bit of a dick.
What a dick.
Just a little
What
bit,
an absolute dickhead.
Mm.
So that was my weird story.
That is weird. I mean, we're all going over weird stories, but yours wasn't too weird.
No,
And mine's not that weird either, to be honest. But it is interesting.
I feel like we should change the name.
I think weird and interesting. So what's
Weird
your,
and
what's your,
interesting.
it's not even news.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It's not even news.
It's just a story, isn't it? It's just to be
It's a
interesting.
story from the past.
Just to be interesting.
God, it's not
So-
real.
So my story is about the oldest company in the world, or what was the oldest company in the world.
Ooh,
okay.
What's the oldest company in the world?
Can you guess?
Is it like a hotel or something?
Oh.
No.
I thought
'Cause
it
I
was
know
not.
it's-
I
think
Two
it's 'cause-
questions.
Yeah.
What country do you reckon it's from? And how long do you reckon it's been going for?
I can tell you the oldest profession in the world.
Hey,
Hey.
go on
I
then.
think that's in every country.
Yeah, I think we know that.
Hmm. Minecraft Let's Plays.
Oh, yes, Michael.
um,
You think about like some old American companies like Ford and stuff, and they're like 100 years old, right?
Yeah.
I reckon like
They're not that
China
old.
or Japan or
Oh.
something.
Now
or-
you're along the right lines. This one is Japan.
Japan.
It's a
Well
Japanese
done.
company.
Good.
And how long do you reckon it's been going down for? Going down for?
Eight-
Been around for?
I reckon like 800 years.
800 years.
Something like that.
Well, let me
That's
tell
pretty
you,
good.
1428 years.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
What do? Make
So-
paper?
They don't make paper. They make Buddhist temples.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
So it's actually
enough.
a Korean immigrant, guy called Shigemitsu Kongo. He went over to Japan in 578 AD and soon realized that Buddhism was blowing up in Japan and the people wanted Buddhist temples. And so, of course, he went into the Buddhist, as anyone would, go into the Buddhist. What's so funny?
oh, this Buddhism is
It's
blowing up.
It's blowing up over here. So, of
You've
course,
got to get involved. It's going to be huge.
exactly. Well, it was. And so, like any good entrepreneur would, he went into building Buddhist temples. And so Japan didn't have any experience. He was like, I'll give you a hand.
Is he like responsible for the design of like the classic look of Buddhist temples?
Yes, so he worked for the royal family in Japan around this time, and they commissioned him to build lots of famous temples, a lot of which still stand to this day. Go to Osaka and see some of his most famous works.
Cool.
Wow.
Which is quite amazing.
They still stand today.
Still stand today.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, right?
That's pretty great.
And so he formed this construction company called Kongo Gumi. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Kongogumi, Kongo Gumi. And it lasted until 2006.
What? It's actually shut down now.
It's been merged into a bigger company. So it still operates, but under a different name.
What? Why
Yeah.
would you change the name? It's been
Yeah.
going for 1400.
Under the umbrella of a different name. It's a subsidiary. So
But has it kept its name?
I believe the name is still there
Oh, right.
in some form, but it's just under the umbrella of another company.
That's a real shame.
Yeah.
That is a
So they're not
shame.
independent anymore.
But they should at least present it to be independent.
Yeah.
The same way that, Disney presents Pixar and Marvel as their own thing.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I imagine some people don't know that that's still the case, that
Yeah.
they own those properties.
That's
But,
amazing.
But yeah, so for that long, and then so in the 1980s, I don't know if you guys know, but there was a big economic crash in Japan,
Yeah.
and the big it's like
It was the 90s as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
There was
it
another
dwarfs
one,
it dwarfs like the 2008 crash
Yeah.
because
didn't it like
I think
wipe out their currency?
Still, yeah, it's like
Wow.
not 80 or 90% drop,
Yeah.
and so people that invested a lot in certain companies just lost everything. It still hasn't like recovered properly
Yeah.
till today,
Wow.
which is mad.
still
So they got
amazing.
hit pretty badly from that, and Japan has historically has quite a reputation for bailing out a lot of businesses, and especially ones that have such a historical legacy.
Yeah.
And so they want to keep these ones going because something like building temples since 758 AD is such an amazing thing to be done. But they changed the laws in like 2004, I believe, around the early noughties, and they changed it so that there was less people were less reliant on the government to bail them out,
Right. Okay.
which meant that this company suffered as a result of this financial collapse, and so was suddenly massively thrown into debt.
Right.
And so when it came to 2006, them being in debt had to be taken over by this larger company. So that's why they didn't carry on operating after that time. But it's just such an amazing story to have a company go for that long. And like I think it's about 2/3 of the longest standing companies in the world are from Japan,
Really?
Yeah.
which is mad. Also Germany has quite a few of the oldest companies.
Huh.
France has a few. So kind of Japan and a lot of kind of Western Europe, some of the oldest companies in the world, kind of maybe companies that prioritize family
Yeah.
and family connections.
And craft from the sound of things
Exactly.
as well. And
Yeah.
I guess with the help of a religious connection and government support.
Yeah.
And they keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool.
So it's just an amazing thing to have a company go for almost 1,500 years.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Imagine like
crazy.
you have like the founders or whatever on or like the
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like pictures of the people who started at
All the
like
way
the
back.
family tree
Yeah.
all the way back. So it starts off with just like a drawing and then like right up to like an oil
photograph,
painting
yeah.
and
Yeah.
photos. Yeah.
So, we're running out of wall space for the next CEO.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh, nice. Well,
Mad.
thank you for that, Martin.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I do have a weird news story that I want to bring to you guys this week, and it's about Christmas trees.
Wait, Alex, you're out of season.
I know,
You're massively
Robert,
out of season.
I am out of season.
12 days
However,
of Christmas have long since passed.
people are repurposing their Christmas trees, and get this, they're making them Valentine's Day trees.
What?
Oh, don't
know.
do it to yourself. Who wants one of those? A dead Christmas tree?
Yeah, are these living trees or are they the plastic ones? Talking about.
I don't
It
know.
was living.
If surely if it was living,
Now dead.
Yeah.
I mean, surely if it was a real tree, yeah, it would have been like, it would be drooping
We're
and
pretty dead,
it'd be sad right now, wouldn't it?
So they're
Although
repurposing
you
their
could-
plastic trees.
Yeah, but you can replant a Christmas tree, can't you? Put it in your back garden, replant it, as long as the roots are
As
still
long as
there.
it's still alive.
Yeah, as long as it's still
Yeah.
alive and the roots are still there. My
So if you-
my
yeah.
mum's dad used to do that
Oh, really?
when they were younger, and had 3 and then rotated between the different trees each year to allow them the one previously to carry on growing.
Well, he cut it down again. And
They have three trees.
Yeah.
Each year they'd replant one of them, bring that one in, then take one back into the garden and replant it.
Yeah.
Take the next one. I'm thinking them all in a row. They probably won't.
Yeah.
The next one to the right. Pull up that one. Put that in the house. So it allows the
If
first
that
one to
works, that's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
That's
So you're
really
not
clever.
burning
Yeah.
through trees, literally.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, yeah.
I like that.
It is.
Sorry, carry on.
Yes.
Well, no, I was just going to say, so apparently on Instagram there are over 2,500 posts with the hashtag Valentine's Tree, and the photos show the festive furs completely transformed for the romance season, adorned with hearts,
Romance
feathers,
season. One
roses,
day.
messages of love, and even teddy bears. Oh, do you want to see a? Do you want to
Yeah,
see a
let's
picture?
see a
Yeah,
picture.
so-
There you
of that.
go.
Oh, that's
Oh,
ugly.
God, that's horrible.
hideous.
Oh,
The hell is that?
look at
But also, what does this
Beautiful.
mean, though? Does this mean people can't bother to take their trees down? They're just leaving them up until February the 14th?
I mean,
15,
it
16.
seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's more if you scroll down as well.
That is grim. That is truly grim.
That is hideous.
There's more.
I think so. Oh, maybe.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's just wire. That's a wire
I mean-
tree. That one.
As much as I'm all for people getting the most out of things that they've bought and
Yeah.
reusing things, and it is always a bit of a shame to have an item such as a Christmas tree, that's gaudy, that you only use once a year.
Yeah.
You still get a good month out of it if you're committed. You know, you get a good month every December. It's like, oh, look, I've got a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But it's not, Valentine's Day isn't about the decorations. It's not about having a tree.
So the
Having
true
teddy
spirit of
bears,
Valentine's Day.
is it? You know,
The true spirit of
well,
Valentine's
what is
Day.
Valentine's Day to you? Tell me.
It's when our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ, was born. Okay? He's born on Valentine's Day. Everyone knows this.
Everyone
Robin.
knows this. That's true. True.
No, Valentine's Day is
Yeah.
just commercial, well, St. Valentine, I guess, but now it's just commercial bullshit, isn't it? Everyone knows that.
Yep.
Don't do anything for it. Make a purpose.
But even then,
Oh,
even
you're the Valentine's Day Scrooge.
yeah, big time, and I'm proud of it. It's
but
fine.
even the commercialized version of Valentine's Day,
It
is
goes to
is the
Valentine's Bars.
emphasis is on that one day, and it's
Yes.
it's on telling somebody you love them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's unrequited or not.
Should do that every day.
Yeah,
Or at
every
least-
day
or
is
at least
Valentine's
once
Day
a
at
week.
Martin's house.
I'm broke. Yeah.
Do you ever
I've
get any letters sent through
Letters?
saying, like, from your secret admirer? Mm.
I wish I'm not like you, Alex.
I don't get
Oh.
that. We should set up a PO box.
I get like
Maybe we get some-
20 every single year. No,
20
I
every
don't.
year.
I don't. Never. Not even once.
Primary school once.
Yeah,
Since then, it just hasn't happened, mate.
got a couple at
Hasn't
primary
happened.
school, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was
All right, show off.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, I got 3.
I got one from a year 6, and I was only in year 4.
Got one from my teacher.
Oh God.
Oh, that's,
That's-
And that's crossed the line.
that's not the same. So,
Yeah.
all in all, we're not in favour of the Valentine's Day trees.
No,
No,
it's
I don't
horrible.
think so.
No,
I agree. I'm
Uh,
full agreement.
I imagine everyone at home agrees, right? Do any of you have a Valentine's tree?
Yeah.
If you do, just unsubscribe.
no, don't do
No, we
that.
need all of them. We need everyone.
If you do, actually, send us a picture. I want to know what it looks like.
Or send us a picture. One of the
And
options.
the Christmas Valentine's tree too.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But tell us on Twitter. I'm at alltimерobin.
At all time, Martin.
At Alex Brown ATC. It may have changed by
It
now.
may have
I don't,
changed. Yeah,
don't know.
we'll find out. When it changes, we'll definitely tell you. But yeah, contact us. Tell us, do you have a Valentine's tree? If you don't, do you think it's a thing people should do?
No.
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 Yeah,
But if you do think yes, tell us why. Change our minds.
Change our minds. Yeah,
Indeed,
it's a good one.
indeed.
Yeah.
So what do you think was the weirdest news story we talked about this week?
Well, yours
I
was
just-
the
Yours
weirdest.
is the weirdest.
Oh,
yeah.
thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Well
Well, I
done.
guess I win then. I guess I'm the king.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't describe either of the others as weird. I
No.
describe them as interesting.
Just
Yeah.
interesting.
Hopefully,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
interesting. Just interesting.
Interesting. Not
They
too
crossed
interesting.
the threshold of interesting, but didn't enter the house.
Good.
There you go.
Very good.
Anyway, what is our question of the week this
What
week?
is our question of
the
the week?
deep topic that we're going to be delving into.
Delving.
Delving into.
Delving,
Oh.
delving deeply without tongues,
Exactly.
wrapped
Very good,
around
very
our
good.
V's. So this week's question of the week, as opposed to this month's question of the week, is: will the Terminator happen? And by that I mean, will the end times AI dominance, kind of armies of killer robots wiping out humanity,
Yeah.
maybe even nuclear holocaust triggered by AI?
Mm.
That that's more like specific details. We don't have to get that far. But do you think the Terminator will happen?
Are we asking, will it happen in general, or will it be the cause, the demise of the world?
Feel free to reframe the question.
No, will it happen in general, I reckon.
Yeah, like around Terminate, like will AI get to a level where it realizes, let's just kill all the people, they're the problem. That's essentially it, right?
Yeah, kind of.
In whatever form that may take. Maybe kill a robot, maybe just software that launches nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Could be.
I guess.
Indeed.
Maybe that computer head thing from iRobot. You know,
what was it called? Because Sonny was the name of the main robot, and they were all called like
Cher.
Sonny's. I can't remember what they were called. I like that film though.
It was surprisingly okay.
Because that's an interesting parallel to be drawn on. And tell me what you think about this. So in iRobot, the idea was that the AI was programmed to protect humans, and came to the conclusion that the best way to protect humanity was to suppress humanity, because they're the biggest danger to themselves.
In creating. I haven't seen it, by the way. I've seen the first third, and then I recorded it off the TV, and the recording didn't work.
No.
So I've seen a third of that film. Absolutely furious.
Spoilers. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Ruined the revelation for you. The Terminator, of course, I think Skynet literally just is like becomes self-aware and then attacks humanity. I think that's the most we ever find out.
Yeah.
It's just
true. I'm sure there's theories.
Whereas in the Matrix has something slightly different, doesn't it? The Matrix, the AI is like, we're self-aware. We want to. I can't remember actually how the war starts in the Matrix now.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Anyway,
Yeah,
just like different examples of AI taking wiping out humanity.
Shut Robin's window.
So
nobody cares about your point. Nobody cared when they're watching it. Everyone was like, "That's cool." Oh my god, he knows jujitsu, all this cool stuff. No one really thought about.
Yeah,
I know kung fu, Martin, is the line.
I know jujitsu.
I know jujitsu. God,
is it not?
So I know kung fu.
Is it?
I know kung fu.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do you think
Something mentioned about jujitsu?
I'm sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure they teach him jiu-jitsu as well.
Okay.
The line is, I know kung fu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Anyway.
Carry on.
So what do you think?
Well, there are notable people that have come out and warned against the development of increasingly smart artificial intelligences. So you've got Elon Musk warns against summoning the demon.
Can we trust anything that man says now?
Well, I'm building up to some proper people.
Can we trust what he says? And also, if there's anyone that's going to be exacerbating it, it's Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's an interesting
We've just
point.
shut him down properly. I'm gonna.
Well, okay, fine. Well, what about
next.
Stephen Hawking, who declared that an artificial general intelligence could spell the end of the human race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had quite good rationale for it as well, didn't he? It was along the lines of smart AI would be like, humans are terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I would trust anything that he say. And then you've got Alan Turing,
Oh, really?
who predicted that machines would outstrip our feeble powers and take control.
I mean, that makes sense. Why
These are
wouldn't
pretty
they?
smart guys, aren't they? That's the
Yeah.
worrying thing.
Yeah, these are pretty smarter than us.
Yeah.
They're a lot smarter than us.
Significantly smarter, yeah.
So a lot of smart people generally seem to be pretty worried about it.
Yeah. I think I mentioned it before on an old podcast that we used to do. And it was the scientist who came up with the Gaia theory published a book about a year ago, I think, maybe 2 years ago. And this fella's 101. So he's been in the game a long time. And he was predicting that AI will rise, supersede humanity, and then they will become the first civilization to travel to other planets and to have a kind of interplanetary empire, so to speak. And he thinks humans will survive, but as kind of second-class race, subservient to these machines. But a kind of, I think he predicts a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Benevolent kind of machine.
Okay.
As in, like, there might be some dodgy stuff on the way, but they'll be like, we're smarter than you, we're more capable than you, we can build better versions of you ourselves, you're just going to get lazy and die out, so we're just like...
So
Yeah.
basically his version of the future is like one massive version of, your friends leaving school and becoming super successful, and then just
Kind
like
of.
coming back and being like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, what are you up to
Yeah.
these days?
It's actually
And
not
you'd
far
be
You
like,
sound
off.
bitter,
and
Alex.
then like, oh, I've just been off in a different star system,
Dan.
Yeah.
colonizing a different world. What have you been doing? Oh, running a conspiracy channel on YouTube. Oh, that's good.
That's cool. That's
Well
cool.
done,
So
well
does YouTube actually pay anything? Is that for free or?
Can you make money out of that?
It's a nice hobby.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Do you have a camera and stuff or? Yeah.
No.
Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind is, what does this mean for the rest of the species on the planet? We always talk about humans dying out.
That's true.
They don't have a need really for humans, but
Hmm.
surely then they don't have a need for animals, really.
Mm.
They don't need any trees or woodland. Only
Well, in
only
Terminator,
only
it's
to be used as resource as opposed to sustaining life, right?
In the Terminator series, the first two films don't really deal with that at all, do they? They just have those brief glimpses of the future war, and what you have is a completely destroyed, barren Earth,
Yeah.
don't you? Like, presumably, if anything survives, it'll be cockroaches and
Yeah.
maybe some rodents, because presumably the surviving humans have some kind of
Mm.
food. And they always say that insects will be the one thing that. And I think they always say cockroaches are like
yeah.
the most perfectly designed to survive a nuclear holocaust. But then in the third film, Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines.
I've tried to forget it.
Sorry about this. I'm going to remind you strongly. They explicitly talk about the Terminators having a power cell, like a battery.
I
which
remember
is
this
like
vaguely.
hydrogen, some kind of hydrogen thing. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was now.
Fairly common element.
Yeah. So I think the idea there is that no, they don't need organic life
No.
because whatever powers them is actually extracted from gases like hydrogen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they would kill the animals, is what we're saying.
Or at least they
decide
wouldn't
that
need
It depends.
to.
Yeah. It depends what
Yeah.
their programmed motive is for survival, right?
I mean, in the
If their motive is because they want to lead
yeah.
nice lives on Earth, looking at pretty things, and that
Yeah.
involves nature, then great. If that doesn't matter and a scorched Earth is fine,
Yeah.
then there's no need for it.
That's one thing I've always liked about the Terminator series is it's never bothered to explain why Skynet goes to war with the humans. As we just mentioned, it never establishes the proper motive. But also, like when you're watching Terminator Salvation, that, classic, great Citizen Kane-like entry in the series. In the future, the machines are just like, they're capturing humans and taking them to processing centers. And I'm always just like, why are they doing that? There's no
There's no need for
They
it.
don't need that.
No.
Why?
And then I just think, actually, humans are the real villains because Skynet's just like, I just want to live, mate. And the humans are like, die, robot, die.
Yeah.
We're going to attack you.
Yeah.
And then the robots in the future are like, oh, we'll kidnap them. Like it's like stray dogs and things like that. Just like we'll take them into a home, we'll put them in kennels, we'll look after them. They just don't realize that
they're
humans
problem
want
dogs.
a better quality.
They're problem humans.
We want a better quality of life.
Yeah.
Like put it down, it's rabid. That's exactly what Skynet is doing in the future, according in my interpretation of the Terminator Salvation.
I mean,
Straight from the words of Robot Robin. That.
What?
they will take over.
They will take over. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys play the game Detroit Become Human?
Oh, I really want
I
to.
didn't, no.
I really
Didn't.
want to.
Oh,
yeah.
I won't spoil anything, but it's almost like a
Yeah.
variation on that where they've created artificial intelligence robots to act as servants basically for humans, and they're treated as second-class citizens.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can, as a lot of the games within the series, let you explore the different outcomes of your choices. And in some outcomes, the robots or the AI kind of rise up.
Yeah.
In others, they're like crushed by the humans. And there's lots of different outcomes to the story based on the decisions you make as one of the robots. So interested to see what you guys think when you play, if and when you play
Yeah.
that.
I definitely do want to play
Yeah, I
that.
really want to play.
Yeah.
But back to this question. So
Sorry, yes.
many people in tech point out that also, firstly, there's different types of artificial intelligence. So there's this hypothetical artificial general intelligence
Right.
that can basically learn like a human learns. Like a toddler can watch someone do something and then learns by watching people
Teach itself.
teach itself
Replicates.
general things and can basically learn anything
Yeah.
that way. That's the whole, sci-fi, they plug themselves into the internet and download everything, and
sure.
then they're
Yeah.
geniuses.
Slash Matrix.
But that's not slash Matrix. But that's not the artificial intelligence we have today, which is artificial narrow intelligence. Artificial intelligence that's very highly specialized at learning to do one thing better.
Yeah.
So like self-driving cars and that kind of thing, I guess.
Right.
The more they use like artificial intelligence to when they're out on the road,
Yeah.
track how cars act and stuff, and learn.
So like the designers create parameters and say, this is how you drive well.
Exactly.
These are the factors you need to take into account. And then the AI learns how best to
adapt
do
to
that task,
Yeah.
but within those parameters. It can't
Yeah.
go outside those limitations.
Supposedly.
Is that what? Yeah, supposedly.
So
All the Tesla cars in the world suddenly become
Yes.
self-aware.
Just imagine Transformers for a second there.
That would be an evolutionary step way too far. Unless Elon Musk is like, yeah, it just made sense to build all that into the Tesla.
Just giant boots on this car.
Yeah, I just thought I'd do that. Yeah.
But so basically,
Yeah.
these narrow intelligence machines, artificial
All
intelligence.
right, don't diss them.
I'm not.
I think it's also is a phrase specific artificial intelligence. Is that another thing? It's the same as narrow, but they call it
Maybe,
specific. I
okay.
think is another term they use.
Fair enough.
Yeah, these narrow-minded machines, Karen.
So they don't learn the same way that we learn.
Not
They
capable?
don't
Oh.
watch. They don't watch someone do something and can like pick it up that kind of way. They have to extrapolate from like mountains of data
Yeah.
and basically figure stuff out through trial and error.
Yeah.
That kind of way of learning. So
I've crashed 10 cars.
essentially,
This isn't going to work.
unless there's a major breakthrough in
Yeah.
how artificial intelligence learns,
yeah,
people are saying that this whole hypothetical Terminator situation
yeah.
is like a thing of science fiction or something
Really?
way down the line that's not going to happen.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the people who have predicted it, the three you mentioned at the top of the section, none of them really put a time frame on it, did they?
No.
Yeah.
There was that date. Was it 2050 or 2075? Something.
The singularity.
Yeah, that's right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I can't
Explain,
remember
explain.
who it was, but someone put
Yeah.
a date to it and said by 2050 or just afterwards,
Yeah.
general AI will exist. That's when
Okay.
AI will overtake human intelligence. Is that correct?
I
That's
think so.
the singularity.
Yeah.
But yeah, if no one's actually actively developing that, except for probably Google
Mm.
and North Korea,
Is this
just thrown out
Just
there.
throw it out there.
is this what you who you were thinking of? There's the concept and the term singularity were popularized by Werner Vinge in his 1993 essay, "The Coming Technological Singularity."
Could be.
I've read it many times.
He wrote that the technological singularity would signal the end of the human race, as the new superintelligence would continue to upgrade itself and would advance technologically at an incomprehensible rate. And he said that he would be surprised if it occurred between 2005 or after 2030.
Oh, right. You put 2030 as
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there
Well,
was
the time's running out.
Yeah. And then there was 4 polls conducted in 2012 and 2013, and they suggested the median estimate was a 50% chance that artificial general intelligence would be developed by 2040 to 2050,
Oh, that might be it then.
Okay.
which is
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
scary stuff.
There's a difference between it being developed and
Yeah.
what he's saying about it taking over humanity, right?
Well, it depends on what motive
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think
And how it's programmed
Yeah,
and the
Of course. There's
parameters.
so
Yeah.
many variables, surely.
you'd hope. But yeah, it makes it
Whether-
unpredictable though. Because
Whether they can develop themselves to be what they want to be, right?
But it's all about the
maximum
conclusion that
efficiency,
they
yeah.
make with humanity, right? It's either they'll either say, "Oh, humanity's a danger, a threat to my existence, so I will retaliate first."
Yeah.
That phrase that America likes to use, or it's they're programmed like in iRobot. They're programmed to protect us, and then they think, "Oh, the best way to protect you is to kill you." Or they might look at us and be like, "Oh, you're all sweet, really dumb. I'm just going to try to get along with you," and then we make them angry.
Yes.
That's
And then
the
when they're
risk.
enslaved.
That's the
I
risk.
like that the interpretation you had of the Terminator, which is basically that,
Yeah.
like they're just like, oh, these idiots, and then we are like, they're machines, and then we try and kill them, and then they're like, whoa, put them in cages, like they're problem humans.
Surely only if we were a threat, right? There's no other need to.
Yeah, but we are a threat. As soon as you get, all you need is that one general chewing a cigar saying, "Where's the off switch? Where's the plug?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does sound a bit like AI, the movie. The
I
movie.
haven't seen that for ages.
Yeah, neither.
What happened at the end of that? Oh no, I know what happens at the end. They go to that weird future. Don't
I can't remember.
they? Yeah.
Yeah,
I only remember
a weird
bits of it.
future
Yeah.
bit. He gets frozen. Then there's like the tooth fairy. I don't.
It's
know.
not great.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was great, from what I remember.
I think because it was a Kubrick film, wasn't it? And then Spielberg took over because Kubrick died.
Yes.
And I imagine it would have been better under Kubrick.
You'd hope so.
Not just because he's Kubrick, but because he probably would have developed it further and been like, this is the direction we should go in, and I'll get rid of that crap idea. Whereas Spielberg is like, he's Spielberg. He doesn't do hard sci-fi particularly well.
There we go. Diss on Spielberg.
Oh no, he's good. I like he does soft sci-fi like War of the Worlds and Minority Report.
Just to let you know,
Excellent
Stephen,
films.
if you're watching, I love your work.
Yeah.
Robin
Yeah,
doesn't, but
I
the rest of us do.
love if you're making Indiana Jones 5 in Pinewood Studios, hire me, please.
Please. Please. And don't make it like 4, please.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing.
Nice.
Coolio.
Well, there you go.
Well,
Big question of the week. I think we answered it. I think we got.
Okay, so will AI
yeah.
take over in a Terminator style? I don't think so.
You
Not in
don't
the
think
near
so?
future. I don't think so. I think we're going to develop it to a point where it can be used for our own gains and purposes. But I can't see it happening certainly not in this century.
Here's my hot take.
Yeah.
I don't think so as well. I think that the technology would eventually get to that point where they might take us over Terminator style.
Yeah.
However, something else will wipe us out before we get to that.
That's a good
That's
point.
my hot take.
Yep. That I like that. The sound of that. That sounds plausible.
We're going to be gone before
I
it
like
can
the sound of that.
I think it could happen, but not Terminator style, because I don't think a super intelligent AI would really misapply its resources into building robot armies.
Okay.
I think they would do something like, taking over the internet and just,
Yes.
if governments can use propaganda to brainwash us, they would brainwash us, and then it would be more like WALL-E, where we just get
Dragging
so
down
lazy
systems.
where they're just like,
First they take out the banking system, then all health data. They're basically hackers.
yeah.
They could be,
Yeah.
using
Oh,
AI
yeah, that's like that-
using AI to
Anonymous.
hack, and then it
Yeah.
goes mad and just hacks everything and takes down
It's like that
the whole
movie
infrastructure.
Sneakers.
The
Have you ever
global
seen that
economy.
Sneakers from 1992?
It
With Robert
sounds
Red-
such a 90s movie.
Sneakers.
I know, Sneakers. It's just like, these sneakers are popular. What can we have a pun on that?
Do they sneak around
They do.
and they wear sneakers?
They are hackers supreme. That's who they are. No,
They
Robert
wear
Redford,
Jordan
Ben
Air.
Kingsley, and Dan Aykroyd's in it, I think. River Phoenix in it. Young David Strathairn.
Interesting cast.
And Sidney Lumet and Mary McDonnell. Good cast, great cast.
Do
Anyway, it's about, they're just humans. They're hackers, but there's kind of like they develop something that could take down the entire system.
Nice. Big words.
Do they say at some point in the film, I'm in?
Probably, yeah. Almost certainly.
Grid comes up on the screen like
Yeah.
like 80s, 90s grid.
Yeah.
Beep. Access denied. Oh man, the mainframe's really fast. Get me over here. Get him over here. Oh my god, what's going on? I gotta figure this out. Ding ding ding.
I love it when
3
you get,
cherries come up. I'm in.
I love that 90s and particularly 80s hacking, but
The music.
The music, and it's the way the actors say the words because they clearly don't know what they mean. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm in the mainframe.
I'm in the mainframe.
I'm in the main frame.
Oh my goodness, the hard drive is here.
Yeah, the hard drive.
How long's it going to take? Probably a couple of hours. You got 5 minutes.
Better work quick.
I'm in.
Got 5 minutes.
Open AOL.com.
And then like the general's like, how long's it gonna take? I don't know, but he's a professional.
Yeah.
He's a professional. If anyone can get the job done, it's him.
Uploading to the server now.
Beep beep. There's those sound effects now.
Yeah. If I type faster, it happens faster.
Those old keyboards. Actually, you've got one of those old keyboards. We were doing a video call. With Robin last week because we're all in different places.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, his keyboard. I'm in the mainframe.
I'm so sorry.
Were you hacking us during the call?
I was.
Yeah.
I was hacking. You looked really funny on my screen because you looked like young girls.
Do you have lots of young girls on your screen?
No,
Martin's got a beard. I've got a beard. We've both
exactly.
got beards.
I hacked your appearances to make it
I
look like
see.
young girls. That's what I did.
see.
Yeah.
And with
Anyway.
that, shall we move on to a quiz?
We shall. Questions galore. It's the quiz. So, quiz time. Gentlemen, play me your buzzers. Alex?
Well, in the spirit of the hacking that we've enjoyed, I've gone for this classic scene from NCIS.
No way. I'm getting hacked.
Oh, Portskin?
No, this is major.
And
man.
the scene goes on,
Oh,
and
so good.
it's basically she's typing out a keyboard, and someone comes over to help her and starts typing on the keyboard as well. So there's
Mental.
two people typing on one keyboard. Makes no sense.
Speeds up your hacking.
Speeds up the hacking.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I've gone for something of a similar vein, but from a James Bond film called GoldenEye.
Ooh.
I am invincible!
Do you remember that? Boris
Yes.
from GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember it?
I do, yeah. It's a
Do
great
you?
film.
Oh, I thought you were
Invincible,
being
played
like-
by Alan Cumming.
There we go.
Well, awkwardly, the first question, and this is not a joke,
It's actually on Goldeneye.
the first question is, Boris Grushenko
No.
is a fictional
Shut
Russian
up.
villain in
Okay.
which James Bond movie?
Portskin?
No, that can't be the first. Shut up.
actually the
That's not the first question.
It's actually the first question.
I've actually buzzed in. Is it Goldeneye, Robin?
It is GoldenEye.
Thank you.
Are you joking?
I'm not joking. That's genuinely the first question.
You know how minds synchronize? What's that? You're in sync.
You're in sync.
Are you serious? That
Yeah,
was the opening
That
question.
was actually the question. Yeah, I wrote this a week ago. Never mind. 1-0 to Alex.
Okay, that is really quite
Thing is, I
strange.
doubt you would have got it if you
Deserved that
hadn't done
one.
that.
Yeah.
I would have got it.
Okay, question 2, much harder. Metal marks,
I lose by one now.
skippers, and swallowtails are common names for what? Metal marks, skippers,
getting
and
hacked.
swallowtails. Yes, Alex.
Fish.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
Martin, go yes.
I am invincible!
Let's go on the animal route too. Let's just go for birds.
Nope.
Swallowtail sounds like a bird.
See, I was thinking birds, but then I was thinking skippers.
Yeah, but we've gone
I
for
thought it was
animal. Can we get a clue? Is it an animal?
It is,
Okay.
indeed. Metal marks, skippers, and swallowtails.
marks.
Not fish, not birds.
Skippers.
Skippers. Yes.
Skippers. I'm trying to think.
I'll give you, it's a type of insect. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could it be? Could it be? Could it be?
No way.
No way. No way.
Is it a beetle?
No.
Oh,
Tail. Tail has a tail. What's that?
Swallowtail.
oh yeah.
Swallowtail.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Does a
I am invincible!
does a cricket have a tail?
No. Well, it might have a tail, but it's not the
I
answer.
was just thinking of James the Giant Peach.
Oh, yeah. Well, this insect is in James the Giant Peach.
Okay. Okay, you go for it. No,
No way.
Is it? Oh, just knocked the microphone.
Yeah.
out.
Oh, no.
Sorry about
It
that.
happens.
Is it a millipede?
No.
Is it?
I am invincible!
A ladybird.
No.
What's left?
Pretty sure it's in
I'm getting hacked.
Is it a spider?
No.
Oh, they're arachnids.
Arachnids,
Damn
yeah.
it!
Is it?
I am invincible!
It's not going to be this, actually. That doesn't make sense.
Say it.
An earthworm.
No.
One more guess. One more guess.
One more guess. One more guess.
Is there one more?
No way.
Is it a grasshopper?
No.
Oh, what?
Is it in James the Giant Peach?
I'm now, to be honest, I'm doubting now whether
If
or
it's
not
not,
it's
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
flip
it's going to
out.
be that kind of what's left.
I may have got
What's
something
left?
wrong.
Spoiler.
It's your.
Okay.
there we go.
You got one more guess, and I'll tell you.
Nah, it's all good. You go for it.
I think there's a butterfly.
Oh, there might be.
There's a butterfly. It is a butterfly. Metal marks,
See, I
skippers, and
thought butterfly,
swallowtails
then-
are
yeah.
butterflies. I may have
I
been
just
wrong
think-
about
I
it being
thought
butterfly.
tail, and I was just
Yeah.
James
like,
Giant Peach.
That was-
Yeah, you
that's
went
right.
birds, so like flying things. I was like insects. I was like, what
Yeah.
kind of things fly?
Is there a
Butterfly. I actually can't. I may be wrong, and I'm sorry about that.
well, there might be
There's
actually.
definitely a winged one that isn't a
Do they-
ladybird.
There is.
Isn't that the cricket?
No.
Isn't that the cricket though?
Yeah, maybe.
Because it goes. The
Yeah,
cricket's
he
down
flies about a bit.
Yeah.
The grasshopper.
Grasshopper. That's it. It's not cricket, is it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, question
It's
3.
called grasshopper, isn't he? Yeah.
Question 3. The wreckage of RMS Titanic was located by
Bombay?
joint American-French expedition in September of which year?
Ooh.
Oh,
Is it closest
Actually
wins?
hadn't found. Closest wins. Closest wins.
they hadn't found it.
It was a while, wasn't it? It was like, I'm going to go for... Shall I go
I
first?
am
I'll go first.
invincible.
1983.
Mm-hmm. What's your guess, Alex?
I think it's before then, but I'm not sure when.
Hmm.
No way.
I'm going to be cheeky and say 1980.
Martin is closest.
So 90s.
1985.
Oh,
You were
Oh,
very
wow.
close.
Fair enough.
You were very close.
Fair
Maybe-
enough.
There was that movie made. Was it 1980? Possibly. Raise the Titanic.
Oh, yeah.
And the
yeah.
whole one premise of it is we found the Titanic.
And then
which-
they found it.
And then
Fairly soon
a few
after.
years later. Yeah. Okay. Question number 4. It's 1-1.
Woohoo.
Who was born at Buckingham Palace on the 14th of November, 1948?
I'm trying to press it back on.
I am invincible.
Prince Charles.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. 2-1 to Martin.
I was going to guess him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5, back to technology. Linus Torvalds is best known for creating which open source computer operating system?
No way.
Linux?
It is Linux.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although now that I know his name, I'm questioning the way that we say Linux all the time.
Linux.
Should it be Linux?
Linux.
Yeah. Unless his
Maybe.
name is Linus. Odd. So that's 2-all?
I believe
2-all, yeah.
Sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Question number 6. Oh, when was the last solar eclipse?
Solar
Oh.
eclipse.
When was the last
So which was the, is the solar eclipse a really rare one?
No.
That's the kind of fairly common one. Because there was the lunar
eclipses
eclipse
are
was the
more-
rare
more
one, right?
common.
Yeah, I think-
solar eclipses.
No, I think lunar's more.
Is it lunar?
Because the solar eclipse is usually when the...
Because
the
there was
moon passes in front of the sun. Right?
Yeah. Then the lunar eclipse is when the Earth's shadow...
there was,
Yeah.
there was that
Isn't
really
it?
rare one in like 2002, wasn't there?
I think that was exciting because
was
it was the first time that Britain had had a total
Full
eclipse
total
for a long
eclipse.
time. Yeah.
I remember because I was with my
Yeah.
cousins on holiday, and my auntie and uncle, they didn't let us look at it
Because of the...
because of the thing.
Remember they were
Although
saying-
all my cousins were allowed to look at it or something because they hadn't asked my parents if we were allowed to look at it or some shit. I can't remember exactly,
That's very...
but we weren't allowed to look at it for whatever
That's
reason.
almost considerate.
Maybe
yeah.
we weren't trusted in putting
Yeah.
on our sunglasses properly.
So does it depend where you are in the world
It
when the
does,
last?
yeah.
So is this the last one in the UK or is this?
No, just the last solar eclipse.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
it could be
it
it could
wasn't.
be anywhere.
It wasn't
I'm
total.
gonna go for.
It
I'm
was
gonna-
only
There
partial.
was that one in.
it wasn't that long ago, was it at all?
No way.
I'm gonna say.
Are we going for year or month and year?
You can give me the date
Okay.
if you like.
Okay.
I definitely can't. Can I? So if I said a year, would that be like no? Any more detail?
We can say it, but then Martin has a chance. To
I'm gonna
beat you,
say
but-
September 2017.
Okay.
I was going for 2018. I'm going to go February 2018.
You're both wrong.
You trying to work out who's closest?
I'm not sure. I'm going to. Well, it was December the 26th, 2019.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really, it was on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
wow.
I knew it was recent.
yeah. But it wasn't total. It was
Ah.
annular. It was partial.
I see.
Oh,
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
yeah, of course.
And I'm not
Oh,
sure I
right,
can really give either of you that point because
Well, it was closest
quite
wins, but don't
far
worry
away.
about it.
I didn't say
That
that.
was
Actually.
close.
Did I ever say closest wins?
No, carry on. It's all right.
okay.
It's fine. Mug me off.
Okay, well, maybe we can do. I think we will do closest wins for the next one because question number 7:
Ridiculous.
when will the next total solar eclipse be?
total solar eclipse.
Total.
Not partial, but total. When will the next total solar eclipse be? Last one was last solar eclipse was December
No
26th,
way.
2019.
No way.
Yes.
2022.
Okay.
Okay.
You're just going for
I'm going to go for June 2021.
Trying to work out who it is. Can I?
What is it?
Martin is closest.
What?
The next total solar eclipse is December the 14th, 2020.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, this year.
yeah.
So
Wow.
put
December.
mark in your calendars, December the 14th, 2020.
Cool.
The next solar eclipse, which will only be partial, is June the 21st, 2020.
Weird. I was
Yeah.
when I was a year out.
Really close. Yeah. Okay, then. So I think that's
3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
3-2 to Martin.
Martin, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Need to get back in the game. I
Okay.
can't lose.
Can't
lose
lose
again.
2 in a row. Okay. Question number 8. On a computer keyboard, the $sign appears above which number?
It's not doing it. It's not doing it.
No way.
5.
Martin, you got a guess?
I was thinking about that too, actually. See, 3 is hashtag. 4.
No.
4. Yeah, 4.
It is 4.
Damn it!
Yeah.
I was trying to think, but
Yeah.
yeah.
3 is £, actually.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Where's the hashtag then? That must be 3 as well.
Hashtag on the
it is
Windows
3, but it's Alt 3.
It's all 3, yeah.
on a Mac, on a Windows.
Oh, I use Mac.
keyboard
Somewhere
is
else.
just over there next to the.
I see.
enter
I use
button.
the Mac.
So that's 4-3, I think, or 3-all. Was
It's
it
4-2.
4-2.
4-2? Oh gosh, Alex. 4-2 to Martin. Question number 9.
Okay.
Ascorbic acid is the name for which vitamin?
I am invincible.
No way.
That was Martin.
Vitamin C.
Oh, it is vitamin C.
I was going to say vitamin C.
5-2.
Bonus question.
This quiz is bullshit.
Oh, it's question 10.
Final question number 10.
The right questions just are not coming up.
Who are the Grand Old Party?
No way.
That was Alex.
Yeah.
The Conservatives. No?
Martin?
It is the Whigs.
No.
It's the Tories.
You're both wrong.
Liberals.
Labour Party.
You can buzz in and have another guess. The
Yeah, good
Grand
point.
Old Party.
Oh, are we along the right lines?
Random.
It's like that
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I was wondering if it was
100% wrong.
British or US for a second.
You were a lot closer, but you're both wrong.
Go for it. Go for it.
As you say, I was a lot closer. What?
I
The
am
Grand
invincible.
Old Party.
The Tories.
No.
Oh,
I'm getting
Republicans.
Yes.
Oh.
The GOP.
The GOP.
Yes.
Yeah. The
I
Republicans.
knew
well,
I'd heard that before, but yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
So we're talking about British politics.
So that's 5-3 to
5-3.
Martin at the conclusion of the quiz. So bonus question. Which American city is known as Motor City?
no
I am
way.
That
invincible.
was Alex.
Detroit.
It is Detroit. There you go.
Indeed.
Nice.
Pouring
nice.
back that
Detroit.
one, yeah.
They've been
Yeah.
screwed over the years, haven't they?
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
have. Economy sucks.
Yeah. It does. It does. It
does
doth.
indeed.
It doth.
It doth.
What happened?
It doth
did
suck
like they
very
would just
much.
close up shop, all the car
Pretty-
industry.
pretty
I can't
much,
understand
pretty
why-
much,
why it
yeah.
did, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much all the industrial finance was taken out of the area, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Then China happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, thank you for the quiz, Robin.
Oh, pleasure.
Despite
Very good.
losing,
Well done on your
I'm
close call. That was close.
It was close.
pretty
Yeah.
close. It
By
was
the end.
touch and go there for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
The acid question, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew
I also knew the
I
first
knew it was
question.
Prince Philip.
It's all about buzzing in. Yeah, Martin knew the first question. Can't believe that. Can't believe
That's
you're talking
ridiculous.
about it just
that is
before.
insane.
that
Madness.
question.
Madness.
Absolutely mad.
Mm.
But yeah, well done on your James Bond knowledge, Martin. Let yourself down. But you still won.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that
Yeah.
puts you top because you're
Quite possibly.
top of
Quite
the leaderboard.
possibly.
But it'll be
Yeah,
on
it
screen
will
right
do.
now if you're watching us on YouTube. Anyway, let us know at home, whether you're listening or watching us on YouTube, how you did in the quiz. No cheating. And hopefully we'll see you next week when you tune in.
Yes. We also have a Patreon episode after this that's
Yes,
going up on our
exclusive for the
Patreon.
patrons. Yeah.
So you'll be able to click
Thank
through
you
in,
for all your
this
support.
description to the
Yeah.
exclusive Patreon episode.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
very
as
much.
always, hope you found this just interesting.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.